Hi, everybody, and welcome to our first Pop-Up Pep Talk Tuesday. Hacks to shifting your emotions now. Now. So we are so excited to welcome you guys to our Pop-Up Pep Talks and really have this be something that we can share with you guys throughout the year, something that you can go back to, listen to for inspiration, recalibration in your day, shift in your consciousness, and going back to your center. So if you guys are brand new to us, welcome so deeply.
Yes,
my name is Dov.
I'm Nicole.
And we are Twin Flame Revolution.
What's up, Anna?
We are consciousness mentors and motivational speakers. We're here to help you transform your day and your consciousness in this moment. So we're so happy to have you guys. And if you are new and this resonates with you, please make sure that you like and follow our page.
Yes. So I just wanted to start with saying that all comes from our mind. We talk about this so much. Every thought will then have an emotion. That emotion has a frequency. It's about almost 80,000 thoughts that you are having in a single day. Let's say that one more time. 80,000 thoughts that you are having in one single day.
Woo-hoo.
And let's say that the majority of those thoughts on certain days that you're having a pretty rough time are negative thoughts, untrue thoughts.
Ooh.
Understand that those have emotion. So if you're feeling really stuck, like you can't move because it's too much emotion and you're paralyzed, or you're feeling completely out of control in your emotions, I want to tell you that it's all starting up here. And sometimes when we are flooding with so many thoughts and we can't shift out of those thoughts, we need to bring ourselves to being very, very present. So we're going to take you through 4 different exercises just to give you these exercises to have as tools that if you did all of them at once, you probably feel really good afterwards. You might even change your whole emotional state by doing one of them. And it's pretty dope, right? So in this...
It really is. And before Nicole even goes any further to give you these hacks, I want to say to you guys, right? Listen to that again. So we have all those thoughts, and then those thoughts create emotions, and then those emotions all have a vibration, and then on top of that, they create more story, and round and around we go. So being able to get ourselves into a conscious state, shift those things, and have some hacks around this is super vital, so you definitely want to listen up.
Okay, so the first one is presence, right? So Dov and I talk about presence all the time. We talk about being grounded, being in the moment.
Yes.
And so I want to talk about something very specific in an exercise to do, because it's really important that we are paying attention to our physical being, our bodies, how we are actually feeling. Because when we go into any kind of stimuli, we go into contact with someone, we are standing in front of another person, or we're going towards a job, anything, if we can bring it back to how it is making us feel, we can get so much freaking information in that moment. But even more so, when we focus on what we're feeling in our bodies, for a moment, we shut the brain off. Right? We shut the brain off from the story and we just bring it to being present. That's why people do breathing exercises, because we focus on our breath. So this specifically, I'm going to take you through it right now. I just want you to close your eyes for a second. And this is always a beautiful place to start, to really see where you are. You're just figuring out, where am I today? How am I feeling? What does my body feel like? So pay attention to your body, right? There's often times when I'm really anxious, my stomach feels tight.
Yeah.
You might be going through some heavy stuff right now and your shoulders might be feeling really either stuck up here because you're so stressed out, or the heaviness of the world might be on your back. Pay attention. You can even say them out if you're alone right now. Right? Sometimes when we're feeling really shameful, our whole body will go forward. If you're feeling shameful, let your body go forward. The other thing I want to say to you when we're doing this exercise is to come in with no judgment. Dov and I talk about no judgment, because here, as soon as you go into judgment, you're going into story, right? And so if you can allow yourself to feel your body, right? And as I'm saying this, a lot of you, your heart just opened, right?
Yeah.
That's another feeling. When you can see when all of a sudden you're feeling really heavy, constricted, your throat, you feel like you're being choked, and all of a sudden you start hearing all these beautiful truths. And Dov and I, and we're witnessing each other, and we're hearing each other right now, and you're feeling the love. All of a sudden you might feel like your shoulders came down. And you might feel like the heaviness go away. And you might feel and so start to pay attention when you start to feel like phonetic energy, frantic, or you feel really stuck. Just sit, close your eyes. How do I feel right now? What's the sensations that I'm going through in my body? I don't know if you want to say anything on that level.
No, that's perfect. I will say that I honor you guys, and I feel a lot of you guys is coming through my body, and I'm feeling a lot of grief. A lot of you guys are holding a lot in your lungs. Lungs feel clouded, feel full. And so just being able to be really, really present with these pieces so that they can start to move and shift, as Nicole was saying, leaning into them as opposed to away from them. We're so conditioned to lean away from our sensations. Don't be too emotional. Don't get too upset. Don't be too sad. And the thing is that when we lean really deeply into our sensations, we give them room to leave. And we give them room to resolve.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. So just taking it just a little bit further in this process, this is something I want you guys to do on a daily. I want you to really sit with yourself. If you like to journal, you can write down your emotions. You can just say them out loud. What starts to happen is when you become aware of your body's not going to ever lie to you, right? Our mind will, but your body's not. It's going to have a lot of information on if something is maybe not good for you. You get that gut feeling like, I shouldn't go in that alley. It's dark. I shouldn't go in there. Or there are times where I'll be sitting with Dov and we'll be having a conversation and everything's cool and she'll say something and all of a sudden my whole throat will close up, my stomach, and I just know that she triggered me. And before even doing this exercise, I may not have noticed that. And then the next thing you know, she says something else and I unload. And Dov's like, what just happened? Because about 10 minutes ago, she said one thing that triggered me. I never said anything. I wasn't aware of it. And then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, I'm screaming at Dov and Dov's like, what just happened? And Dov's like, dang, Nicole's a monster today. But when we start to connect to how we're feeling, we start to see what makes us feel good. We start to see what brings us peace.
Yes.
We start to see where we are triggered. We start to see parts of our life that really are not benefiting us. There are people, places, and things that may not be good for you. And again, no judgment. It's just your reaction to it. And also in that stillness of being present when we're just paying attention, it leaves for that space to not react. And so there's nothing worse for me than being reactive to someone. It's really hard when you all of a sudden lose control and you become reactive and you say things that you don't mean, or you might feel so much shame because you acted in a certain way. And not that I'm against you guys sharing your feelings, because I think you shouldn't hold anything back. But what I'm saying is just allowing yourself this moment to be present, and sometimes just in that stillness, you will find peace.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so next, we're gonna go to the complete opposite of presence, and we're gonna talk about movement. Oh my God, moving your body. This is something that for many of you, if you are feeling stuck, you should be getting up every morning. Your feet should hit the ground. You should have your sneakers. You should have your sneakers by the bed. You should put your sneakers on. You should go take a walk. I don't care how cold it is. Put your hoodie up. Movement. You are this is a temple, but this is a functioning vehicle. Yes. It's an organism. It's a vehicle. It is meant to move, right? When we stop and we constrict and we all suppress and we all stop and we all constrict and we all get scared and we all get paralyzed. But when we do it for too long, what starts to happen is the functionality of the systems within the body start to slow down and they start to stagnate. And stagnant waters look pretty nasty. Yeah. They start to breed bacteria and dis-ease, and you start to see flies around it, and there's some junk in there. I don't know, some kind of just blah, blah, blah. And that starts to happen in your body.
Moldy water.
And you guys are fatigued and tired, and we get really sick, and we can't get out of bed, and we got a pain in my neck, and I got a pain in my back, and my legs, and my knees, and my shoulder, and it's like, oh my goodness. And really, if we can allow ourselves to just move, so much can happen, right? Just by me jumping up and down sometimes when I have energy on me or frequency that I'm going through and I start moving, all of a sudden, guess what starts to happen? I'm moving right now. Yes. My body starts producing chemicals that are going to be a tonic for my soul. I'm producing some dopamine right now from the movement. I'm also shaking it off, and all of that leaves that space within for the light, for that peace. Ooh. My body's vibrating now. I can feel myself. Some of you get really numb. We were talking yesterday, Dov and I, about being really numb because we're so scared and we get numb and we can't feel anything, and that's a scary place to be. And when you start moving, you start to feel yourself.
Yeah. And you guys also, a lot of you guys are doing a lot of conscious work, right? You're doing a lot of work up here. You're doing a lot of work in your field. You're doing a lot of work in your energy. And the thing is that our mind, those things Nicole was talking about, those thoughts we have, they're changing your biology.
Woo, yes.
Okay? So the thing is that as your thoughts change, your biology is also needing to change. And that movement allows for that assimilation between that mind and the energy and the body. And even science at this point has proved that you are changing your biology, your genetics, your physiological structure all the time. And the thing is, you want to be able to allow yourself to move so that you can facilitate that process of transformation.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And so number 3 is really being authentic, honest with where you are right now.
Yes.
Without judgment.
Yes.
Where are you right now? Writing that down, looking at it fearlessly. It's got to be a little fearless because it's a scary thing, but looking at all the components of your life and doing it with no judgment. Because that's the truth. You know, I remember there was times in my life where I tried to make excuses for my change because I thought if I shared with you how weak and how messed up I was, that, I would be judged or not loved. And I would rationalize staying where I was, even though I was in so much pain. And when I finally just got honest and looking at all the pieces, I had to look at my past and went, wow, I had a rough upbringing. I went through some things. That's an honest thing, right? I'm angry. I'm angry for what happened. Honest, right? I'm so hurt for what happened. Oh my God. Then I decided to start to hurt me because I wanted to do all these crazy things to get attention. And right now I've made some really bad choices that have affected my life. And whatever that is, I had to start looking at it and I just put it down and I saw it. And then I went, okay, well, that makes sense why I don't feel good. That makes sense why I'm anxious. That makes sense, I'm not sharing my pain with anyone, so I'm suppressing it. I'm really depressed. That makes sense. When we start to bring truth in, guess what starts to happen? There is freedom. And then from that place, we get to make different decisions on what we could do next to shift ourselves out of it. But we have to accept what we created. We have to accept where we are in that moment and know that everything is always changing. And that even if you accept it in a second, that next second can be so different just because you accepted what you created. You can allow yourself that moment of change. But without that, how many of you want intimacy with a partner? How many of you want intimacy with a partner? Guess what? It starts with you, baby. If you can't be intimate with you, what's intimacy? Into me, I see. Honest with me. Honest about who I am, where I am, what I have done, what I have been through. If we cannot accept that within ourselves, it's very hard to then share ourselves with someone else. We put masks up. We show up in fear. I used to show up like, I don't know who. I thought I was like a player. I'm like, what's up, girl? I was like doing all these things that I look back and I'm like, oh my God. I watch videos and I'm like, oh dang, who is that? I don't even know who that is. That's the show, baby. That's a Nicole Prayer old school show. I was like, that's not me. Dov knows a little bit about that.
That's what happens when you know each other for 13 years. Oh, isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth? We want that intimacy. We want that connection. We want that ability. Remember what we're talking about, guys. We're talking about hacks to being able to shift what you're feeling, your emotions now. Right? These are exercises. These are hacks. These are tips. These are things. These are practices. Let me remind you of something. If we just become hoarders of information, I say this a lot, right? Our culture has become hoarders of information. I've read every book, I've done every course, and we put nothing into practice, right? These Pop-Up Tuesdays, these are about you being able to have actual actionable practices or having actual shifts in your consciousness that you can then create a practice from. So I invite you to dedicate these things to yourself. I invite you to try them. I invite you to be in active process with these things.
I'm going to let Dov do the 4th one, which is prayer, because I'm going to blow your spot up right now. This woman every day in the morning hits her knees and prays And when I see that, I see this dedication and commitment to herself, but I also see a dedication and commitment to our family and our commitment to our mission and purpose. And there is nothing it's one of the biggest joys of my life is to watch you do that. It's breathtaking. I am not even that committed to my prayer life, and I'll call myself out as much as this woman.
Oh, don't make me emotional, and let her not fool you. She prays all day long. I don't want to hear that. I'm going to blow her up too. Prayer. Prayer is something that a lot of you guys have ideas about. So some of you guys are very clear about what your prayer life is, and some of you guys struggle. Okay? When I talk about prayer, I talk about it non-denominationally. That means that whatever your denomination or non-denomination, you can pray, we can pray. Prayer is the communication with the universe. What prayer does, it also says, hey, I don't want to hold all this by myself. I don't want to hold all this by myself. It's too big, it's too much. And also, you're not built to hold it all by yourself, because there is something, whether it is universe, source, God, your angels, your ancestors, the earth, the connection to others. There is so much. And when we give ourselves the ability and permission to say, I hand this, I share this over. The other thing about prayer is communication. Right? So for me, meditation is the act of listening. Prayer is the act of communicating. So when we allow ourselves to pray, we allow ourselves to communicate. That means we allow ourselves to be connected. In that moment, you realize you are not an individualized, isolated being. You're connected. You get to have a conversation. You get to ask. You get to hold intentions. You get to become responsible. You get to come back out of that state of reactivity that Nicole was talking about, and you get to create from that state. You get to say, it is too much for me, I hand it over. You get to put your hands out. Yep. You get to say, I receive, I give permission for support. That is so powerful. I would never, ever have you underestimate the fact that you hold something that is very dear and powerful in this world, and that is free will. And even to the Almighty, we need to give permission. So we give permission every day. I invite you to support me today. I invite you to help me resolve these things. I invite you to give me answers. I invite you to assist me in my process. And the thing about that is that when we allow ourselves to do that, we can find a quiet center. We can feel supported. Because what happens if I come and I sit with you? I say, everything's going to be okay. You're going to start to take a deep breath. I hold your hand and I say, I'm going to help you through this problem. And you take a deeper breath. And the thing about prayer is that it's kind of like that. Is that we can say to the universe or to anything that we want to pray to, we can say, I need you to hold my hand right now. I need you to help me resolve this right now. And you can identify and understand that you're not alone in this moment. And you're not. And right now we're sitting there with you. And maybe you're in prayer right now. Maybe you're saying to the universe, maybe you were praying and this video came up. Right? If that happened to any of you, I invite you to let us know. Right? I saw somebody's comment before. They said, this was exactly when I needed it. What does that mean? That means that you prayed in some manner and you said to the universe, I need some sort of a message. Maybe it was a week ago. And that message came in front of you and that prayer was answered. And because you communicated with the universe, you could receive that.
Oh my God. So let me give you a quick Nicole prayer. I get on my knees and I'm just like, oh, I messed it up, or that was gross, or I need help. And God's like, no way. And I'm like, Yahweh. No, I'm just kidding. No, and so I lay it down. I lay it down. I know, it was a meme. I lay it down. I say, this is not working for me. I did this. This doesn't feel good. All of a sudden, you know what I do? I get to release myself of my guilt. That's the first thing. Let me release myself of my guilt. And then I go into like a trust practice in that prayer where I am like, I know that you're carrying me. I know because I really do know. I've seen it in my own life, and it always grows because I always get what I need in every moment. So I allow, when Dov talking about, I receive that guidance. I receive that higher knowing. I receive your power in my life. I let go and release myself of this burden of thinking that I have to do this alone. And so I'm going into this trust moment. So we have this release of guilt, we have this trust, and then we have like just deep gratitude. And even before the gratitude, if there's something that you need help with, we could say it out loud. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to get through this. I don't know what this is. I don't know what my mission is. I need you to help me. I need you to show me. And then I end it with gratitude. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I get to even speak to you right now. I get to even speak words out, that I'm breathing, that I have a home, that I have whatever you are grateful for. And all of a sudden, everything in that moment, you have the capacity to shift everything. Shift your emotions, shift the way you're seeing things, and you feel safe and you feel held.
Yes.
Allow yourself to experience that safety, being held, that peace that comes through that connection, that only comes through that connection. Because when we connect that deeply, guess what happens? You connect with you so deeply. And when you connect with you so deeply, you're able to anchor onto this earth and be in your body because it feels safe and okay. And then you get to get up and you get to do something amazing. You get to move. So we went through so many things that are going to help you when you're in a Mayday situation, or even when you're not and you just want to implement this in your life to serve you so that you could even not go into a panic, not go into certain things, not go into like non-movement and being able to move.
Oh, I love that so much. I hope that you guys feel pepped up. And actually, I'm going to ask you guys, if you feel that this pepped you up, I want you to put #pepped up. If you're watching this on the replay, still put that in. I want to see every one of you guys that felt hit by this to write a comment and just write #pepped up. Every time we do this, if it hits you, if it peps you up, if it's the inspiration you needed for your day, if it was a tool, a method, or an understanding, if we created some shift in the consciousness, write #pepped up so that we can see each other, get that, and we can do it together. We are so happy to have begun this with you guys, and we hope that this video really, really helps your process, whether you're watching this now or later. We invite you guys to watch it again. It will definitely help to listen over and over. And if it was resonating for you, please share this video, and please make sure to like and follow our page so we can continue to stay connected with you guys and serve you to the highest of our ability. We love you guys so much.
Love you.
We wish you an amazing, magical day, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.